Hello, fellow Movie Crusaders, and welcome to another episode of Sean's Movie Crusades. My name's Sean Wasserkrug, and today we're going to be reviewing the latest Disney live-action remake, Mulan. Now, for many people who know this, obviously because of the pandemic with coronavirus and everything, Mulan was expected to be one of the biggest movie releases this year in theaters, but due to the theaters shutting down and people not going to the theaters, Disney decided to release it on Disney Plus for $30 a pop until December when they let it free. So that's basically what it's kind of a smart move by Disney because obviously if you pay $30, that's what you're going to be paying for to see it in the theaters. But a lot of people, there are different ways to watch this without paying $30. Not legal ways, obviously, or you could wait till December. But nonetheless, I wish it was in theaters because I'm going to tell you this right now, Mulan is a really well-shot film, and it really deserved to be shot or seen on a big screen, but I have a 4K TV, so at least looks good for me in terms of respect of that. But I'm going to get this out of the way right now. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to judge me on my review because of this. I've never seen the original Mulan. It was 1998. I was in my teenage years. I just didn't feel it. It didn't look fun to me, and I just didn't care to watch it. I was watching other movies, and it's gotten to the point now where everyone gives me crap for not seeing Mulan that I just don't see it now in general. I will say that after seeing this film, I am more inclined to go and check out the original just to see how much of the differences there are, because according to at least the synopsis of the original Mulan that I've read compared to this one, there are some pretty big differences. Mainly meaning being there's no music and Eddie Murphy's Mushu the Dragon is not in this movie. But nonetheless, so I'm looking at this film with clear eyes of not knowing the previous Mulan film, having not like The Lion King earlier last year where it was literally a shot-for-shot remake. And no, Beauty and the Beast is not a shot-for-shot remake. I will fight anyone on that. Beauty and the Beast was a fantastic film, and it was my favorite Disney live adaptation film to date, followed by Jungle Book and then Aladdin. But I reiterate, we're talking about Mulan here. So I'm going into this with fresh eyes. I don't know any of the previous stuff, and I don't know any of the past stuff. So I just know the general story. Which is the general plot here for Mulan. I'll go ahead and just jump right into it, is basically we have a girl who is unlike normal girls in her, I don't want to call it a tribe, but like in their little homeland. Like they live in like this kind of dome castle building kind of thing. And all the girls there are supposed to be prim, proper, quiet. And Mulan's not like that. Mulan is very, fun. Like modern day Mulan would be a catch for many women or for many guys. But I mean, she's loud, she's brash, she's very agile, and she can do a lot of crazy things with her abilities. In this movie, it's a lot has to do with her chi. But because her father says that she needs to hide that so she could be a proper woman for a future husband, she holds it back. But when the Chinese Empire dynasty is under attack from a mysterious group of people, they invoke a law saying that every family has to give one male heir or one male counterpart in the family to the empire to fight in the war. And because Mulan's family is all women outside of the father, who's a previous war veteran, is the only one who can go, and they all know that he will not make it, he won't survive it. So Mulan goes as impersonation of a boy, thus, learns to become a fighter and goes to fight this war. And that's the very plot of Mulan. And that's basically what I knew about Mulan outside of the talking, little Eddie Murphy dragon that he pretty much used going into Donkey for Shrek. But that's what I knew about Mulan. And that's the general plot for it here. There's little instances here and there. I mean, in this movie, she does have a guiding force, like where Mushu the dragon was the guiding force for her to like protect her and see, stuff in the cartoon. She's got a phoenix in this one, which looks gorgeous on camera. And I guess me not seeing the previous film, that's a confusion for me because there are times where this phoenix is around other people, and it seems like Mulan's the only one that sees this thing. Because I'm sorry, if a giant phoenix was flying around, I'd be paying attention to it. And people you can say it in the comments in the chat. If you guys know if this Phoenix is not supposed to be seen, that's fine. I can deal with that. But apparently, I read that Mushu wasn't seen by anyone in the cartoon, so that's probably what that is. But nonetheless, let's go into the actual review. I kind of went off a side rant there. So Mulan, like I said, fresh eyes. Never seen the original. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really well done. The cast, beautiful cast. I love the cast of here. The lead as Mulan. I'm gonna butcher these names, and I apologize. Yifi Lu. I'm sure I said that wrong. Playing Mulan, I think she did a really, really solid job. I think for a young actress who's taken on such a big role, voiced by Ming Na in the original, and there's a wink and a nod to Ming Na in this film, so be on the lookout for that. And even not seeing the original Mulan, I really liked that wink and a nod. I think she did a real solid job. She doesn't have a real good man voice when she's pretending to be a man when she's training, but I feel like she has this real kind of quiet thunder in her. Like you can see with Mulan's character, she has to hold back her chi and she wants to let it out, but she's constantly fighting this internal struggle and battle of letting people know who she really is, kind of trying to let people in, but knowing because it will bring dishonor to her family that she has to hold it in no matter what. And I feel like Lou does a fantastic job of portraying that throughout. And when she does finally, because like I said, a lot of people know how this movie goes already because they thought it's a cartoon. When she finally embraces her chi and just lets it out, Lou's acting of Mulan jumps up to another level. I wish there could have been a little bit more to go with her on this because there's some scenes in the film that maybe they could have gone a little bit harder for her performance or could have at least elevated her performances, but obviously they're adapting a cartoon film, so it can only go so far. But for what we got of Lou in this film as Mulan, I thought she did a really solid job. Donnie Yen as Commander Tung. I love Donnie Yen. I think Donnie Yen is a fantastic actor, so getting him in here I thought was a real solid job. Obviously, he's playing the commander, so he doesn't have a whole lot of lines, but we do get to see Donnie fight, and Donnie fighting is a joy for me whenever I get to see him fight. Many people will know Donnie Yen. If you don't watch a lot of martial arts films, people will know him from Star Wars Rogue One. He played the blind priest of the Jedi Temple, and he was fantastic in Rogue One, and he's great in this. Li Gong plays Zana Yang. She's the female sorceress or female witch that they call them in the films. I really liked her character. I thought she did a real solid job as well. Once again, kind of like Mulan, I wish there was just a little more story for her to really sink her teeth into. I feel like she did a great job with the script that she had, but another character that I really wish we just could have gotten a little bit more of, more meat on the bone. I keep saying that phrase a lot lately, but just more to give her to sink her teeth into in terms of making her character a lot stronger than it already was. I really liked her. I wish we would have gotten more of her. A big cameo. I don't want to say a cameo, but the Emperor. They got Jet Li. I didn't recognize Jet Li at first, but then as soon as I saw him, I immediately, this jumped up so many points in my book for Jet Li being in this. Jet Li's kind of older now. He's not able to do a lot of big action sequences, but they do get to let him do one, and it was great. I love Jet Li, and putting Jet Li in as the Emperor I thought was a top-notch decision by Disney. Jason Scott Lee, that was another one. I really loved having Jason Scott Lee in this. He plays Bori Khan, who's the main villain in this. I think he did a real solid job as a villain, just like with Zana Yang. I know I'm saying her name. Just like the female sorceress. I wish we would have gotten more with him. I feel like their characters, both him and the female sorceress, they could have gotten so much more character development out of these characters if they just would have given them a little bit more time. I'm not saying that they're light in the film. They do get a lot to go off of, but they could have just gotten a little bit more to really flesh out these characters. I think Jason Scott Lee did a great job as Bori Khan. He was a real suitable villain. Everything meshes real well with these characters. Yosun An, he plays Hong Wei, I think. He's obviously the main guy who is buddies with Mulan along with the rest of the crew. he's solid. He's kind of reluctantly pushed aside as, oh, the boy she has a crush on kind of thing. Or she doesn't want him to find out that she's a girl because of everything like that. And you have that romantic entanglement, because it's Disney and it's, a Disney cartoon, so you got to have that. But, I mean, I thought he did a solid job as well. Try to see who else in here. Tizzy Ma. I'm saying these names so wrong, and I apologize. He plays Mulan's father, Zhao. I thought he did a real solid job in the small parts he has, because obviously the father is in the beginning and at the end, not really much in the middle. But as a father who basically is being forced to basically give up his life for his family, to bring honor to them, I thought he did a real solid performance. The whole rest of the cast, I'm not going to keep butchering the rest of these people, but it's a really solid cast. I was excited for all the casting choices that they did for this movie, especially at the big numbers. I think they all did a real solid job. The cinematography of this film looks amazing. There are sky shot scenes that they take that just look breathtakingly beautiful. The scenery, the battlefields, the Chinese Empire that they shoot, everything looks great in this film. This was definitely shot with the intent to be seen on a big theater screen, and a lot of people are going to be watching these on phones, laptops, non-4K TVs, and I feel sorry for Disney's Mulan because it's not being seen the way it should have been intended to see. Luckily, I got to see it on a 4K TV, so it's still, I got that quality, but I would have really liked to have seen it on a big screen. The battle sequences looked great as well. I thought a lot of them looked really solid all the way throughout, especially with the, I like to call it sleeve fighting. People who have seen like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or any of those kind of films, you guys probably know what I'm talking about, where they use their sleeves kind of as like whips and ropes. Those look beautiful. I really like the fighting style for all that stuff. The story itself, like I said, it's Mulan. It's very, I don't want to say basic or bare bones, but could they have added a little bit more to it? Could they have added some more development for some of these characters? Like I said earlier, absolutely. There are some kind of hokey, cheesy scenes, like hero scenes in this, yes, but you can't really knock it for that. But there was at least one or two like eye roll moments that okay, cool. But nonetheless, from beginning to end, I enjoyed Mulan all the way through. This was not a movie I was particularly excited to see. It definitely was not in my most anticipated of 2020. I figured I would just check it out and just be like, it was fine. But throughout the film, especially, once we got to the big battle sequences, I was really focused and fixed in on this film. I liked the performances of the cast. I just wish some of them had a little bit more to do. The battle sequences, the cinematography, everything on here worked for me. I just wish there was a little bit more and they took some of the hokey stuff out. But nonetheless, going to overall thoughts, if you're a fan of Mulan, yes, there's going to be a lot of things different. Obviously, there's no talking Mushu dragon. There's no singing. But if you want more of a kind of a real life, and I say real life because the chi stuff is kind of almost like a superhero power. It really is. But if you can take that aspect out of it, this is more of a kind of a real life, true to life kind of thing. And me, I was a huge fan of like The Last Samurai, Kozawa films. So this real life aspect of like Chinese samurai fighting, stuff like that, really worked for me. I enjoyed the movie overall. It's definitely ranked up there in terms of Disney live adaptations for me. So going to overall thoughts, I definitely recommend Mulan. I think you guys are going to like it. It definitely is in my top 10 for the year so far, which is not really a high bar to hit with the movies that have come out. But if you're a Disney fan, if you're a Mulan fan, if you're just a fan of a good, solid action film or a family film with action, then you're going to like Mulan. I get the $30 price tag is probably going to be a little for most of you, so you guys probably won't see this until December when it becomes free on Disney+. But if you're going to be taking your family to see this film like you would have done if, more than 2-3 people were going to go see this movie with you, it was going to cost $30 anyway. So whether or not you should pay $30, I'm not going to say do it, but in hindsight, if you think about it, you and your wife, friends, kids, what have you, if you're going to go to the theater to see this movie when it was going to come out, you would have spent more than $30 anyway to watch it. And at least now with this, you pay $30, you can watch it as many times as you want. So if you're going to do that, spend the $30, watch Mulan, enjoy it. It's definitely one of the best Disney live adaptations out there. So going to my overall review score, I'm going to give Mulan an 8.6 out of 10. I think it did a lot of things right, and it's definitely one that I would go back to and rewatch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys feel like this review is worth sharing, go ahead and hit that share button. But most importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos pop up on Sean's Movie Crusades. And of course, don't forget to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. Coming up next, we have a Netflix original film. It's a rom-com called Love Guaranteed. So be on the lookout for that. And until next time, in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Movie Crusaders.